TEDP Training Part 9, Advanced Maneuvers. There may be times in TEDP that you may need to early terminate the triage call or abort the call for some reason. This is referred to as an advanced maneuver. So let's discuss when you might perform an early termination. You will want to early terminate the call for the following reasons. The caller becomes unresponsive during the triage interview and process. The caller provides to you an abnormal, out of range vital sign that is not accepted by TEDP. The caller hangs up during the triage interview or refuses to answer any further questions. In this first example, I have been interviewing the caller to evaluate his abdominal pain. He suddenly becomes unresponsive. To early terminate, select results. Since we are unable to complete the triage interview, the results page will be incomplete. TEDP will not generate a system concern. Early termination recommendations will be a when of now 911 and a where follow-up location of emergency department VA. The when and the where can be changed. However, I would suggest that if the caller became unresponsive during the triage interview, that you would not want to down triage the caller to, let's say, a now follow-up. To retain the note, select Note. All data collected during the triage interview prior to the early termination will be kept and be able to be stored in Vista. The results section on the final note will provide only your nurse recommendations, as we did not complete the complete triage interview that allows TEDP to give a suggested follow-up when and where. You may document the early termination in the nurse's notes section of TRM Plus. To do so, to pass this note back to TRM, follow the usual procedure and select Done. By selecting Done, it will return you to TRM Plus, where you complete your nursing workflow, which includes the reason for the early termination. Patient became unresponsive during triage. The next example of an early termination is for an abnormal vital sign. During a headache interview, the caller indicated to me that he had taken his blood pressure and his systolic BP was 256. If I attempt to enter 256 into the TEDP solution, you will see we can only enter between a 60 and 250 systolic. When I select Next to try to move forward, I will get a prompt that I must enter a value between 60 and 250, and values outside of this range will be treated as a medical emergency. Yes, this client should have an early termination. To do so, again, select Results. The results screen will only include the recommendations of a now 911 and a location. And again, with an abnormal vital sign, you can change the when and the where, and then return the completed note back to TRM Plus to document the reason for early termination. There may be times when the caller hangs up the phone or refuses to complete the triage questioning. In the case of a hang-up, you will need to make a couple of decisions. When we have a hang-up, we're going to do the same procedure, select results. Again, we will end with a now 911 and a location of emergency department other. We did not complete the triage interview due to either a hang-up or refusal to continue forward. You as the nurse will need to decide the when and the where. I would recommend that you follow your VISN leadership for guidance, selecting the when and the where for a hangup or refusal to complete the interview. Next, TEDP allows you to abort an encounter. Aborting an encounter will wipe the slate clean and all documentation of data collected will be deleted. You may want to do the abort function in the event that you selected the wrong patient in TRM Plus and began a triage interview, or you would like to start over with a new symptom, one that has a higher acuity or is more specific. In this case, I was triaging bad breath when in fact the client sounded very short of breath on the telephone. I asked him if he was having difficulty breathing and he said yes. I would want to change my symptom triage. This is going to be the exact same procedure had you selected the wrong patient for triage in TRM Plus. Simply select results. We want to abort the encounter, select the X. It will tell you if you abort the session, all data collected will be lost. Are you sure you want to abort? Say OK. It will return you back to TRM where you will follow your routine procedure of finding the correct patient, or to launch a new symptom triage, select the TEDP button for the same patient.